Hi, Bob.
Hey, welcome back to the Dumb Marketer Show.
We're back.
16, number 16. Here we go. We should probably take just a couple of brief moments to give a business update since the whole premise of this show is building these businesses. So I think it'd be fair to give a business update.
Commercial break.
Yep. Mine is very brief. I got some work done this week.
Nice.
I posted a blog post.
Nice.
I recorded and published a video.
Very nice.
And I haven't posted besides these dumb marketer shows, I hadn't posted a video in a very long time, like 2 months or something like that. So getting that out the door was awesome. The video it's a presentation format. I had a deck I had been working on, and I discovered, because I'd never used it before, the Cameo and recording feature in PowerPoint.
Nice.
Is slick as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I had never used it before, which is crazy because I love all of the Microsoft products and I know them pretty well, but I'd never just had a reason to use the Cameo and really the recording feature in there, because I normally would just do a normal, like I would use a tool like Clipchamp or something like that, and I would do the presentation with the Clipchamp kind of camera box in the corner.
Yep.
But then I thought, you know what, I'll give this a try because I've seen it in there. So I thought, okay, I'll give this a try. It is awesome, and I'll tell you why. You can record it just straight through, right? Record the whole presentation. But if you want to go back and just edit one slide's talking, you're talking on one slide.
Yep.
You can do that. So I recorded the whole 23 minutes all in one shot, and then went back and said, "Oh yeah, I don't like slide 11," and I didn't have to re-record. I could literally just re-record slide 11, and it stitches the audio together. It was slick. And again, people out there are like, "Oh yeah, it's been around for a while." Like, I just never had a reason to use it, and I've used it, and now I love it. So yeah, if you got a presentation, you want to do a recording of it. It was super easy, and then exported it to a MP4 file, and it's done. The only
never done that.
I mean, I could have then dragged the MP4 into Clipchamp, and I could have added an outro screen. I could have done editing if I wanted to, but I get it out the door, so I didn't do all that. But yeah, it was cool.
So, have you tried some of these AI presentation?
Yeah, I did. So that's maybe some other big news. I canceled my ChatGPT subscription.
What?
Yeah,
You're not all in on Gemini now, are you?
Okay, so I'm all in on so Perplexity I get for free for some odd reason through Comcast.
Right.
Weird. So I get Perplexity Pro for a year, and I think that comes up in like November or something like that. So I get it for like 6 more months. I'm going to ride that out.
Mm-hmm.
I get Gemini Pro just because I'm a workspace customer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy with Gemini. I think it works well. I use it a lot on my phone as an assistant-y type thing.
Yep.
Then I've got a Microsoft 365 subscription as well. And that's yeah, I've got that. So I've got Copilot.
Mm-hmm.
And Microsoft's done a great job. You know, when Copilot first came out, they charged separately for it, and it was expensive. It was like $30 a month per user, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm already paying. I have the family plan for Microsoft 365, so it's $129 a year for 12 months, $129. So not bad, right?
That's not bad.
But then they were saying,
why do you get the family? Who else is using it?
Everybody in the house.
Okay.
Yeah, because the two, well, they're the one's not in college anymore, but the two college girls have laptops, and I said, because with the Microsoft family plan, you get up to 6 licenses.
Okay.
So literally, my wife's got a license, the 2 older daughters, and I'm still sitting, and then me, so I'm still sitting on 2 extra licenses. And what's great is you get access to the full suite. So you get Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, uh, all the Microsoft tools. They all come with this Microsoft 365 family account. It's a great deal. It's a great deal. And to show you where it saved money, one of the daughters had a information systems class in college this last semester, and she needed Excel and she needed Microsoft Access. Okay, and Access is it's a weird product. Like you can't just go buy it. You can buy it individually, but it's really expensive. But it comes with Microsoft 365. And so what happened was she was going to have to do some weird thing through the school to get access to it. But because we already had the Microsoft account, she already had it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it saved like $80.
Wow. Okay.
So it's good.
$80 for a separate access account versus the 100 and some that you're paying for the whole family for 6 certifications. Really?
To go through the school.
Wow.
Okay, so then Copilot comes out and they're going to charge $30 a month. I'm like, no. Now it's included. Now it's included.
I'm like, no. Okay, so now you have no need for ChatGPT. The one versatile tool that everybody says to use.
Yeah, I just would rather save the money.
Huh. Was that the only other tool you were using that you had a paid account?
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so 365, Perplexity you get for free, but you have the premium, and Gemini because you have Workspace.
Yeah, so to answer your question, I've used Copilot for doing actual like presentation development in PowerPoint.
Got it. Interesting.
And it's premium.
Okay. That is not one that I've heard of as much for presentations. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. Bob Stanky's recommendation for Copilot and doing presentations. And what was the feature again you highlighted?
Cameo.
Cameo, that's right.
Yeah, Cameo. And record, the record feature.
All right. What was the presentation for?
It was for work, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I needed just a quick and dirty presentation. It did a great job. It designed every slide. It added content in the slides. So I just went through and edited it. Perfect.
Got it. From my standpoint, or is there more? Do you have more?
No, that's all I got.
From my standpoint, I spent time working on my plan. I have been digging into things. Here's the deal. I'm kind of repackaging everything. So I'm looking at every part of my existing business to make sure that I am landing where I want to land. So I'm dredging up things that I knew what I need to address. I would have needed to address at some point anyway. And it's good that I'm doing this because if I do put all this time into putting a legitimate plan together, the last thing I want to do is be like, oh crap, why didn't I think about that? So it's brought up some good questions, some things that I need to dig further in before I inform anybody about it because I have to figure them out myself. But primarily I've been working on the audience, the messaging, the market, digging into that as deep as I can go, the opportunities. So I'm kind of building off of things that we've already talked about for the last couple of weeks. I did make a decision that changed how I was doing my targeting for the target audience. Ooh. It's not a big surprise. The bigger surprise was probably that I wasn't going to target them initially. So I have moved the target to an 18 to 24 audience. I've included that as well. Before it was just 25 to 44. And the thinking was primarily originally that 18 to 24-year-olds don't have a ton of cash they're going to be spending on self-development. They'll probably do a lot of it on their own, free assets, that kind of thing. Part of what I'm going to be doing is free assets. And the other part that I really want to take advantage of is the mindset in an 18 and 24-year-old is highly involved in figuring out what they're going to do with their life, how they're going to do it, what they actually are going to represent in the world when they get into the world. So they're the prime candidate to be thinking about themselves and how they're going to fit into the world. So why would I not be trying to help them figure out who they are, build their awareness, and give them the opportunity to figure out what's best for themselves? So that has been added to the demographics that I'm focusing on. With that adjustment, it changed everything because it is another audience to add to the segmentation, and another audience to add to the messaging, and another audience to add to the product offering. So that dramatically changes things. So that's kind of where I'm at now. So I thought I was getting closer to building out, some financials and some planning, but given that addition to the audience, now it's going to broaden things out a little bit. So more to come.
Moving and shaking.
Now I can tell you, True Identity originally, the hot audience was 18 to 24. Actually, I would say it's probably 13 to 24. I had a lot of middle schoolers and high schoolers that were coming to take the free assessment on my website, which was awesome because I knew that they were in that mindset of trying to figure things out. So it was really good to see. But again, that said, they're not the ones that are going to pay for things as much as the older audiences would. So I just have to figure out how to position it, and that's what I'm working on.
Cool.
Yep.
All right.
So should we roll into a big old topic that we wanted to address?
Yeah. I hot swapped mics here. I'm having audio issues today.
Yeah, I was gonna let you know I'm still hearing a little bit.
Okay, you're not anymore though, right?
I was when you were talking. I wasn't paying attention when I was talking.
Okay. No, it seemed fine when you were talking. I don't hear any feedback now.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard it either. Should be
Okay.
good.
All right. Yep. I switched mics here.
Go to the mini.
Yeah, I'm just using the lavalier mic here.
Okay.
The Yeti's at work, so it's not here.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's right. Okay. And you know what? We've been fortunate through 16 episodes. We haven't had tech issues.
No, we really haven't.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a little bit more there.
Okay. I don't hear it on my side, so I think we're just gonna roll.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. Thanks for the update. And today we're going to talk about Reddit, which is one of my favorite, I don't know, communities, social network. I don't even know how you really define it. I used to define it as like a discussion board. But it's kind of social media community. I don't know, it's interesting. What is really interesting is that people have been using it for marketing for years, but it's evolving. It's evolving as a better tool, stronger tool. And now we have some evidence and data showing us that Google loves Reddit.
Yeah, I was going to say it's more about the partnerships more than anything.
ChatGPT loves Reddit.
Yeah, OpenAI and Google.
Yeah. So Reddit.
If there are two names that you want partnered with, those are the two.
Yeah, it needs to be on the radar.
One of the big ones.
Yeah, it needs to be on the radar now, big time.
Way more.
So we're going to talk about Reddit today, and I'm excited because I am a big Reddit user.
How long have you been a Reddit user? Like actively? Like years, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I think my profile. I started my profile in I think 2009.
Wow, dude, you were an early adapter.
Yeah, I love Reddit. And haven't always been very active. I would say definitely more active in the last 3 to 4 years. Just kind of dabbled in it in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely a lot more active now. And it's weird because Reddit's got such a loyal user base. There's unwritten rules about Reddit. like things you can and cannot do that aren't rules the platform set up. It's rules that the user base is set up.
Mm-hmm.
I think of it very similar to like Wikipedia.
Yep.
Wikipedia being a very, it's a community run resource where if you throw anything incorrect in Wikipedia, the editors will take it down. And the editors are people like me and you who are literally sitting at home fact checking things on Wikipedia. On Reddit, if you do something wrong, the community comes down at you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, you can't do that.
Right.
So what's interesting, I think, is that us marketers try to get away with everything, and a platform comes out and we try to ruin it. And in most cases, we do ruin it.
Yep.
This is an example of a platform that really, that's not allowed. If you're a marketer and you go in there and try to pitch a product or a service, you'll get booted.
Yep.
Now, that being said, Reddit has some great advertising tools, and there's a lot of, like I said, ways you can do marketing per se in Reddit without doing marketing.
Yeah, the term that us marketers might want to call it would be engagement.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yep, totally. Why don't you give us a rundown real quick on what you've learned about Reddit from a AI standpoint?
Oh, you want me to go through that stuff for you?
Yeah.
Bear with me just a moment, folks. So this is all stemming from a blog, or not a blog post, a LinkedIn post that I found. I sent to Bob and I said, hey, this could be a cool topic that we could talk about. And the reason it was top of mind for me was, well, it spurred originally when Reddit inked their contract with Google, because that directly impacted Google search, because Reddit started to appear in the top results on page 1 in the first 10 rank positions. And from an SEO standpoint that I watch very carefully for my content, whether it's for my employer's content or my personal content, Reddit took several of my spots and moved them lower, and I didn't like that. So it was Reddit and Quora and a couple other ones that started to bump things down, but it was those inked contracts that did that. Mm-hmm. So that was the initiation to me paying more attention to Reddit and seeing how it was going to affect the online community. And so it also inked a contract with OpenAI recently. This is the one that really caught my attention, because it's going to be like a second wave of content impact that I wasn't really prepared for. So based on research from ziptie.dev by, and I'm going to butcher his name, Tomek Redzki. If you rank number 1 in Google search, you'll show up as a source in AI overviews about 25% of the time. Okay, 25%. Mm-hmm. When I started paying attention to ranks for SEO, and it's changed over time, clearly, any experienced SEO would tell you this, but if you're ranked number 1, when I started, you were see roughly 40-45% for position number 1. Now they're saying 25%. With everything that's been added to that page 1 and towards the top of search results, that's slimmer and slimmer. The pickings are slimmer. Mm-hmm. So that said, and this is Google AI overviews, okay? So Reddit and the impact there has become the real gold mine. And they're primarily talking about LLM citations. So research from Profound, and I have visited their site. It's a pretty cool site, by the way, if you're looking to get some LLM data and how your content is featured. Profound's one of the top choices. Research from Profound shows different citation patterns for various AI platforms. 30 million citations across ChatGPT, Google AI overviews, and Perplexity from August 24 to present day. I'm going to give you what they've got. ChatGPT citations, 48% Wikipedia. 48% from Wikipedia. Sorry if you missed that number. I just needed to repeat that. 11.3% from Reddit. That was number 2. And the most important thing to note is Reddit citations jumped 436% starting on May 19th when OpenAI and Reddit partnered. Makes sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Google AI overviews was balanced between Reddit, YouTube, and Quora, reflecting their ecosystem integration. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Perplexity, this one actually kind of really threw me for a loop. Perplexity's top citation source is Reddit. So all 3 of those primary AI tools that people are using on a daily basis, all 3 have Reddit in their top 2 citation sources. Takeaway: citation sources can shift fast based on partnerships, and every brand needs a Reddit strategy. Cannot deny that.
No.
So that's kind of what I wanted to offer as a aha. And I'm sure there are quite a few people out there that are seeing results for what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I wanted Bob to offer a perspective because he's played a lot in the tool about how he thinks there might be ways, because him and I are both marketers, and I'm going to ask him to give me some guidance on how we could leverage Reddit to build more of a online presence, not just in their tool, but assist our other content and everything else in the online universe. What do you think, Bob? Can you help us with that one?
Yeah. First, let me touch on something real quick. I don't envy Google's job
No.
of trying to figure out what to show up on a search page. Okay, I don't.
No doubt.
My only thinking around this is Google knows who has the best content. So let's say there was a topic A. Google knows the top, let's say 100 sites. Let's just keep it simple here. 100 sites that offer the best answer to the query, the search, whatever, right?
And when you say Google knows, you mean their algorithm can calculate the best content.
Right. Yep. So they say, okay, topic A, here's the top 100 ranked 1 to 100 on who has the best answer to that. Wikipedia, Reddit, Quora, yeah, they're probably always going to be near the top. My request of Google would be to find a way to make it a little bit more diverse, to surface new ideas and opinions on that topic that may be number 69 or 80 or 53 or whatever on that list.
You mean where Luke's ranking today?
Right. Yeah. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. There's just something to be said for I don't have a good analogy, so I'm not going to try to make one on the fly here, but it's just like you can buy your way to the top.
Yes.
You can buy, I mean, okay, here's a perfect analogy. Baseball. A lot of teams spent a lot of money to try to be the best.
Yep.
And because they had a lot of money, they did that.
Yep.
So lower market teams didn't have the money, so they were always near the bottom.
Yep.
And for years in baseball, it was always the same teams at the top, same teams going to the World Series, same teams winning all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That got boring. I would argue search results could face the same thing. If I go and do a search and Wikipedia and Reddit are always near the top, that's boring to me. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'm just saying if there was a way they could say, hey, you know, number 83 on this list, let's get it in a rotation where its location is varied.
I understand where you're coming from, and I agree with you with most of it. And the only counter I would offer is, and the only reason I can counter this is because I've experienced in content that I've produced.
Mm-hmm.
When I do a lookup for content I want to rank for, I'm looking at the top content. I know what Google is already saying they think is the best.
Mhm.
And I want to compete with that. But I want to differentiate it so I can offer something different, right?
Mhm.
When I launch my post, it'll take some time, right? Content usually take a while to rank, but I can usually see movement in the first couple weeks, right?
Mhm.
And it'll slowly creep. But I believe that's because, and Lord knows how the algorithm actually works, but I believe that is because the algorithm is trying to give new content, new specifically, or rewritten or optimized content, a shake, like legitimately giving them an opportunity to rank up against other content and see how it performs. I could be wrong. I don't know. But my stuff bounces, right? Especially these days. Because I have so few blog content posts on my site, I can watch how keywords literally go to the top 3 and then drop right off the map completely. So
Mhm.
it's that kind of a range. Um, so I think they're trying to find, because this Google has always said they're trying to find the best answer for the user, right? That's what they're trying to do.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's truly the case anymore because it's revenue driven right now, right?
Sure.
Because everything at the top is trying to keep them in the Google sphere and make money.
Mhm.
So it's changed a little bit, but I think their algorithm is still trying to provide the best results closer to the top. And
Sure.
the only way they can do that legitimately is to continue to test things, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So I think they try to do that, but to your point, Google's job in doing that is incredibly challenging, right?
Well, let me actually offer a perfect example of where I think Google could learn from.
Yep.
YouTube.
Yeah.
So YouTube this year, there's been a noticeable change in the algorithm
Mhm.
because it's doing a good job of mixing in the big dogs with the smaller creators. And there's been a lot of podcasters and even YouTube video people who have been talking about this. It's
Yep.
it's it's been very evident, very
Yep.
evident. Where you do a search on something, or even you just show up to your recommended page and you see something from a big news source like Reuters, and then right next to it is a small creator
Mm-hmm.
who's maybe only got 300 views on their video.
Yep.
And maybe that's why I said what I said, because I spend a lot of time in YouTube, and me seeing that, I love that
Yeah.
because I literally will watch the Reuters video and then we'll watch the small creator video.
Sure. Yep.
And so I think that parody or whatever you want to call it, um,
Variety.
yeah, variety. Maybe the YouTube folks should go visit the Google offices and just kind of walk them through how that's working. Because I don't know.
Why are you doing that?
I'm just saying. I don't know. I just yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And
Oh,
like I said, I don't envy what they're trying to do because it's hard. And then with AI coming and them trying to create this AI overview, although I will say that in most of the overviews that I look at, and hey, I'm not gonna lie, I look at the AI overview.
it's convenient.
Oh yeah,
Extremely convenient.
it's too convenient.
Yep.
To the point where sometimes I don't even scroll past the AI overview.
Yep.
Okay.
That is the trend, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. But what I've noticed in a lot of them that I pull up, there's multiple sources.
Yep.
And I will say that some of the sources are ones that I don't know if I would have clicked on or recognized.
Sure. Yep.
So I think that's good. I think maybe it's going in the right direction.
Yep.
But yes, the AI overview is definitely throwing things for a loop. So now to bring this back to Reddit.
Before you get to your point, hold on to it for 1 second.
Okay. Yep.
One of the things that bothers me that's kind of in line of what you're talking about as far as seeing other content from other creators is Reddit has its own world of opinions,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Some factual, some, most are opinions
Mhm.
or experience through their experiences, right?
Yep.
So, in the effort to offer the best answer to a user's query, I find it very challenging to go through countless opinions from a single source to define the best result, to put in a window for Reddit's responses in every result. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's really the best answers on that platform. But there is a dedicated spot in the top 10 search for every search.
So this is a reputation problem for Reddit.
Yeah.
Because you could be looking at a subreddit around goldfish,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next subreddit is around business strategy.
Yeah.
And the goldfish board might be full of weird memes and funny jokes about goldfish and just like stuff that isn't even true or whatever, just like random thoughts about goldfish. And you go over to the business strategy one and it's legit. Like you got like legit people talking strategy in there and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's not like it's a centrally focused website around that's full of communities around a single topic. You can literally
anything.
Yeah, it's all over. So I think what happened is for years and years and years, people saw Reddit as kind of like a junk community board.
Dumping ground, yeah.
Yeah, dumping ground for every person's opinions. And it is. But if you're there for something specific and it's something that has legit opinions and all that kind of stuff, like it can be a real treasure trove of great stuff.
Yep.
Can't argue. The same can be said for Quora. I'm also bullish on Quora for different reasons, but I've extracted a lot of value out of Reddit, and I gotta be honest with you, Google surfacing Reddit content, I like that.
You like that?
I like it because I don't use Reddit as a search engine. I definitely try to find subreddits that are related to things I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
I took on a new role at work. I'll give you an example. Took on a new role at work. It's an expanded role on top of my regular responsibilities that I've had for years. So there's things that I have to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what I did?
Wow.
I found multiple subreddits around that function of business.
Yep.
And all I did was I just started scrolling and looking at the different threads that people were talking about. And it was like, it's probably, to be honest with you, I'll give you another example. Let me finish my thought. It's like a go-to learning resource.
Wow. That's bold.
Absolutely. So I'll give you another example.
Statement.
I used to play a game. You're familiar with it, Clash of Clans.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be really into that game. Haven't played it in a really long time just because life happened.
Yep.
But when I first started playing that game, Reddit was where I learned. That and YouTube and Reddit. Now I could do Google searches on what's the best way to do an attack with dragons, or whatever. And I certainly would have sourced. There's a lot of websites out there that are devoted specifically to Clash of Clans.
Yep.
That would talk about that thing that you could do, but Reddit was just a nice place. And there's also the community around it. When you spend time on these subreddits, you start to recognize the names. You start to, and you start to like, and that also I think feels good to someone who's looking for information.
Yeah, absolutely. Familiarity with the engagement that you're having with people, sure.
So Reddit is a go-to first source for me when I want to learn something, for sure.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, I mean
that is not a first source for me. I will say that I have spent time on it. It's definitely much more in the last year, maybe 2.
Yep.
And there are topics where I will go and just scroll because you don't know what you're going to find. And I like that, actually. It's kind of like a treasure hunt.
Yep. Yeah, totally.
But I don't use it as a dedicated source, even for those topics that I'm interested in.
Yeah, I'm following a lot of subreddits right now, and they're all different topics. Some are fun topics, I follow some meme boards and all that kind of stuff, but I follow a whole wide variety. So my feed on Reddit's always filled with. That's the thing. It's also such a huge community. There's new content up there every second of the day.
Every second.
So it's
Absolutely.
like, so I just opened up my Reddit app,
Hmm.
and the first thing at the top is from a YouTube subreddit that I follow, and it says, "I want music and sound for my YouTube videos." That's the thread.
Okay.
I'll probably click on that. I'll probably read that. Like they're looking for a place to find music and sound for their videos. I make videos, so that's kind of an interesting thing, right? Um, this is nonstop. No impressions on videos. That have 100 likes. You're not going to read that one, but basically, these are questions I would have.
Sure.
These are questions that so I love. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of.
As a
I think
user,
if you've
creator,
been
and producer, yeah.
if you've viewed Reddit negatively in the past, it might be time to rethink Reddit. Would be my argument.
Yeah, I would say the same.
Yeah, and now given this emphasis on, well, given the agreements that have been made now between these AI companies and search companies,
Hmm.
now's the time to maybe start putting a little bit of effort into Reddit.
Yep. And I think, all right, so truth be told, and I'm kind of being an antagonist here because I'm a marketer and I shouldn't say things like this, but I hate social media. I do.
Yeah,
And I think the core reason is because I could waste so much time looking at stuff that is completely irrelevant for things that I actually do care about to find a few that I'll stop and look at. So,
huh.
um,
You know what?
what?
I have something to say to that.
Okay.
Being someone who has loved social media for a long time,
Yep.
and have gone up and down on because it's gotten weird over the
Yep.
last 5, 10 years.
Yep.
If you're good and you take the time,
Yep.
you can build the algorithm around what you really do want to see, and you
Yep.
don't see the trash. So I can literally go through the one I've been using a lot is Threads and Blue Sky. I've been using those a lot recently over Twitter because that's a cesspool. But because I've liked the right things,
Yeah.
or I've spent time looking at something specific, those algorithms gotten so good now that when I go in there, I'm not wasting time. I'm literally seeing the content I want to see.
Fair comment. And I have done that. Putting the work into that is what sucked.
Yes, it
But
does.
you're absolutely right. You can train the algorithm.
Yep.
Yep.
It's the
And
same thing with YouTube.
Yep, same thing. Yep, you can train the algorithms. I mean, there are limits to it though, because then you end up only seeing
Yes.
those things, right? So you're not, to your point earlier about search not showing other creators and such. I mean, you're losing out on some stuff. So I have my love-hate relationship with social. The reason I bring that up is Reddit to me in the past was another social platform that I had to pay attention to. And it was topic focused, but in the earlier days, I think it seemed to me to be more of the dumping ground. Whereas now, because, and I don't know what kind of iterations they've gone through, but the ship seems to be tighter, right? Things seem to be, and the community has kind of evolved to incorporate what the platform was intended to be, and they're the rule followers. They're the rule creators, really, when you think about it. So, I think my admiration has improved for Reddit. I'm still not a lover, but I have spent more time in it. And now that I'm seeing that it's probably a prerequisite for any marketer, any brand, really, to be partaking in Reddit, it definitely has moved up the priority list. And I will say that it's growing on me. Okay. So I like it better than some social channels, that's for sure.
Yeah. Reddit is so from a marketer's viewpoint, Reddit feels a lot more like one-on-one combat as opposed to mass distribution of information.
I would agree with that.
So,
That's
you
a
know,
good
yeah,
analogy. Yeah.
yeah, you can put something out on Facebook, you can put something out on Twitter. I know it's called X now, whatever. You can put things out on those channels and they kind of go out to the masses.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have a Reddit strategy, which you should have, expect it to be more boots on the ground, one-on-one combat. So let me give you an example.
And it's actually almost like a team. You're almost like a team when you're part of a subreddit, really, because to your
Yeah.
point, you start to recognize people and get to know how they
Yeah.
behave.
So I'm surprised by the number of people that I get emails from. One of the subreddits that I'm most active in is a EOS traction subreddit. So it's a bunch of people talking about the entrepreneurial operating system. I get more emails from people who see my stuff in there than anywhere else. I get emails from people that say, "Hey, I saw your comment on the Reddit board on this, and I have a question about traction."
Mhm.
And so it's very one-off. It's
Sure.
very one-off. Like, but they're finding me because I have my contact information in my profile.
Yep.
And if I'm contributing and I'm offering up good stuff in the subreddit,
Yep.
that causes people to go to your profile and find out more about you. Who are
Yep.
you?
Yep.
So, like, I just had one not too long ago, a few weeks ago. Guy asked a question in the EOS subreddit, and I offered a reply. And I put some thought into it. It took some time for me to craft my thoughts. It was a couple paragraphs long. That person then read it. They read it and said, "Oh, okay, this is interesting. This guy must know what he's talking about." Went to my profile,
He must know what he's talking about.
clicked on my website,
Yeah.
went to my website, went to the contact page, filled out the contact page, made outreach. To
And
me,
there is no ifs, ands, or buts about how powerful Reddit could be to build a personal brand.
yes. And some people send a message right through Reddit. So I get some that come right through Reddit. I get some that go to my website. But the bottom line is that that's not, I can't go into Reddit and do a mass, hey, learn more about me by going to my website and dropping the link. It's literally this,
You got a handshake.
you got to contribute to
Yep.
the conversation. But the more you do that and the more you make it meaningful, these Redditors, they sniff out bullshit so fast.
Yeah.
If they know you're just trying to get business or they know you're just trying to promote something,
Yep.
oh, it's amazing. It's
Yep.
amazing the power of the community's knowledge in there about, like, they know when it's fake.
The big winners, from what I've heard, the big winners are the ones that give. If you just go in there willing to give information and help people understand something, you're going to win.
Yep. And if I've got something specific that I think I could offer, like a blog post or something like that, I never drop the link in there. I just always say, like, hey, I've got a little bit more information. If you want it, just message me.
Mm-hmm.
And some people will.
Yep.
Hey, I saw you mention this post you got. Can you send it to me?
Right.
Sometimes the community in a thread will ask you
Yeah.
to post it.
Do you have any sources?
Hey, yeah, can you drop the link? Like,
Right.
drop the link in here, and then that's fine. You've got permission from the community to do that.
You've been asked. Yep.
So Reddit is a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. It's a platform you definitely need to be hands-on and manage.
Yeah. Yep.
But
And
you reap the rewards from doing that work, though.
And I'm usually in one of two moods when it comes to Reddit. One mood is I just want to scan and read.
Yep.
And comment when I've got something to say.
Yep.
The second mood is, okay, I'm actually going to do marketing in Reddit right now.
What does that entail, Bob? Because that's what I think we should talk about.
So that entails having a specific purpose of something that I want to try to drum up some attention around. I'm looking for content to comment on.
Yep.
Or I'm looking for a way to start a conversation through a new thread that's going to drum up some activity.
Can you give us an example of both?
Okay, so like a year and a half ago, I was really heavy into EOS traction. And I wanted to start building a name for myself. And I had some content on my website that was really good. So I spent time commenting on just about every EOS thread I could.
Okay, so you initiated the strategy, if you will,
Mhm.
by building a name for yourself who was actively engaged and interested in the topic of EOS and the subject matter of it.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I was just trying to build brand awareness, if you will,
Right. Yeah.
on who I was.
How
I
many
was
groups were you doing that with, do you think, roughly?
how many subreddits?
Yeah.
There's only a couple out there for EOS
Okay.
too.
Okay.
And then the second mode was if I've got a new idea I want to start promoting or start getting some feedback on.
Mm-hmm.
I love using Reddit as a place to get content ideas
Sure.
because either A, people are asking a lot of questions, you can answer those questions,
Mm-hmm.
or you can drum up a question to see what kind of replies you get.
Yep. You going somewhere with that, or can I ask my question?
Go ahead.
So the examples you were pondering, EOS,
Yep.
did you spur a new thought or idea or question, or did you piggyback?
No, it helped me formulate new content I wanted to produce at the time.
Okay, but for the engagement in the subreddit, though,
Yeah.
did you start a conversation to get it, or did you have to hunt for it?
Oh, I've had experience with both.
Okay.
So yeah, I've gotten it both ways, for sure. The most effective is definitely seeing what conversations are already going on. Think of this as like keyword research.
Oh yeah, it's customer research. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's I go into the board, I go into a subreddit, and I say, what questions are people asking?
Right.
And then, hey, can I produce any content around that?
Sure.
And now, and so rewind 3, 4, 5 years ago, that wasn't a search strategy. Today,
Right.
it's a search strategy.
It's a big one right now.
Now with the stats you gave, if you're answering the right questions that people are asking, now you're going to show up in search.
Right.
That was not the mindset though 3, 4, or 5 years ago with
No.
this. It was just I want to try to build name recognition, brand recognition. I want people to start seeing me as an expert in this
Yep.
topic, this area. But now it's no different than keyword research. It's
Yep.
topic research that now has a very strong possibility of showing up in an AI overview
Right.
or, in Perplexity as a source.
Yep.
Totally new game now.
Yep.
And I think it's more real actually. I feel like when I've done keyword research, and I'm not as good as you are, I don't know. It feels there's no people behind it.
Yeah, it seems more relevant to actually have somebody talking about it versus saying, "Oh, this keyword seems to rank okay."
Yeah, and these aren't even keywords or phrases. These are literally full-blown questions and discussions.
Right.
Now, the problem with Reddit is just like in life, everybody thinks they're an expert at something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. You're always going to have those.
Yep. So sometimes it's easy to go into Reddit, see a question or see a topic that's being discussed, and you're always going to have, someone who thinks they know everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would argue that still your own answer to that, your own opinion to that is still viable. And now I want to believe that Google could sniff that out.
Sure.
So again, this news that you shared with us at the beginning of this recording about these stats and all these places showing up, now it's like okay, now Google's watching. So now
Everybody's looking at it. Yep.
if I really do have a good reply. Now, here's another approach I've considered, but I have not done. What if you wrote a blog length response to a question in Reddit? Most threads.
I have specifically spoke to people who have done that and seen tremendous results.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Like if there's a topic, and again, you don't want to come off spammy. You don't want to come off like you have an agenda. Most threads that I follow are very short.
Mhm.
They're someone has a question or someone wants to share something. They offer a little bit of context to it, and then they
Yep.
open up to the community. What community? What do you think? And the
Yep.
community replies. Sometimes are one sentence. Sometimes they're a paragraph. Sometimes there are a few sentences. Some people will write a really lengthy reply.
Mhm.
But if you did it right and you took it maybe a little bit step further and offered a little bit more depth into the answer or the comment, and you made it almost like a mini blog post, I could see the search engines picking up on that.
I heard, boy, this is a while ago too. This is probably 3-4 years ago, a podcast about a business owner who basically built his business by doing what you're saying, by answering a question, blog post length response, and his audience was so loyal to him because of the value he put in those posts, and they would wait for him to add or write his own Reddit posts.
Yeah.
And he grew his business that way. I mean, he was seen as an absolute authority in the topic, and I don't remember what it was, and I don't remember what he did, but I remember him saying that was his core strategy, and I was just like, holy crap.
It makes complete sense because when your content, just like anything else, your content is good in Reddit, people will click on your profile.
Mm-hmm.
They will. Like I said, the majority of people who have reached out to me have come from Reddit.
Yeah.
Have come from Reddit and have said, hey, I saw your thread on this, or I saw your comment on this post, and I have more questions. And so if it's thoughtful and it's in depth, I'm not surprised to hear that story at all. And I mean, and really, I mean, I guess you could say, oh, that would take a lot of time. But how is that any more time than writing that blog post and putting it on his website? You know what? Let me share something with you real quick.
Yeah. The train stopped moving, Stanky. Here we go.
I am absolutely demoralized right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So
because you should have put your recent blog post on Reddit
in my dashboard, my mobile. I have a dashboard for my website, right? Okay.
Yep.
I track a lot of things. I track sessions and page views and I search and I track Google search impressions over the last 6 months. Okay. And I have a trend line. Sure. There's a trend line right there. Okay. Over the last 6 months, my trend line is going up.
I see that.
This is good. This is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yep, it's going up. Okay. The darker line is this year, and the fainter line is the previous year, same period, year over year. Okay. My trend line is going up.
It's a good thing.
Now look at my trend of clicks. Search clicks. Okay.
Yep.
Going down.
Fully aware. Yep.
Okay. Now I have another.
Doing the same thing. So is everybody else, by the way.
This is the last graph I'm going to show you. It's on my.
And this is literally because of what we're talking about right now, as far as these AI channels taking stuff away.
Okay, this chart is showing you my click-through rate. Okay, my click-through rate. 6 months ago, it was 0.74%.
Okay.
And every month, it's gone down since.
Yep. Yeah, that's what everybody else is seeing, my man.
And now it's sitting at 0.33%.
Okay.
Yep. So here's the deal. I could continue to write content for my blog.
Yep.
And spend time doing that and post it where it's going to take 12 to 18 months to rank, maybe, if I'm lucky. And even if it does,
let's say 3 to 6, just to rank.
Sure. Let's say 3 to 6. Okay. It's going to take 3 to 6 months. And then after that 3 to 6 months, even if I'm in the top 5,
Mhm.
as you noted earlier, the AI overview is going to eat it alive.
If you're not in the number one position, you may not get clicks. If you're in number one, you may show up 25% of the time.
5% of the time. Right. Okay. So tell me, why would I have any interest? This is why I'm doubling down on YouTube.
Hmm.
Because I can post a video and get more views on a video
Mm-hmm.
and arguably watch time, better time on my video than time on my site. So why would I take the time to write this lengthy blog post and put it up on my website when I could create that same content in Reddit
Mm-hmm.
and get more eyeballs on it? Literally, I could post something on Reddit right now and have hundreds of people see it.
Yep.
Whereas my blog post might sit dormant for 6 months.
This
So
is
the strategy
these
makes a
these
ton
are
of
literally the conversations happening in marketing departments right now.
Well, so marketing departments or solopreneurs like us,
Yeah.
these are the things that just irritate the fuck out of me. Because listen,
This
look,
is the changing universe we live in right now, though.
look, I know, but it's it's frustrating as hell because
Welcome to the Dumb Marketing YouTube channel.
we have to develop a strategy
Yeah.
of how we're going to spend our time.
Yep.
Which
And
right
dollars.
now is
Yep.
which right now is at 11 o'clock at night
Yep.
for an hour or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I need to come up with a strategy I'm going to follow, and the target is always moving. And people are like, "Oh, boo-hoo, Bob! Welcome to the club." I know, I get it. This is not a new problem.
Boo.
I'm just saying. I look at these reports on my phone. I look at these metrics, and I say, "Okay, maybe I'll just do video and Reddit now."
Yeah.
So, I mean, is that what I have to do? I don't.
No.
And I'm not going to do it everywhere. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I don't know.
Not gonna do it everywhere.
Seriously, I'm not saying
my
that- okay, look. Any other business would say, "Hey, that strategy is not working anymore, so it's time to pivot to a new strategy."
So,
Okay?
yeah, bear with me a moment. I'm with
Yeah,
you. I'm picking up what you're laying down. Okay, I'm on the same page, by the way, because it's
Okay.
maddening for me. All right,
Yeah.
it's maddening probably even more for you and I because we invested so much time and effort into blog content. Right, that was a big priority for ours.
Yeah.
And you have at least maintained some of the growth that you put into it. I've lost pretty much all of it, honestly.
Sure. Right.
So that said, I still believe. Is there value in Reddit? Absolutely. Could you put your post on there and get a value? Absolutely. My only caveat to that is when compared to a blog post, okay, a blog post can house YouTube, it can house infographics, it can house graphs, data, right?
Yep.
And you could put that into Reddit too, right?
Sure.
It wouldn't be the same kind of format that you could also share on all your social channels, in your email, so on and so forth, right?
Yep.
So I see kind of a blog now, what the website used to be, right? Like the hub of all of your social.
Yeah.
That's ultimately what it was supposed to be to begin with, right? But everybody just kind of focused on the search reward of it from the search engines.
Mm-hmm.
Now that that's gone away, now you got to figure out how to position your content everywhere else so they're actually attributing all the awareness, all the clicks, and whatever else you can garner from those tools back to your blog or your site, right?
Yeah.
So I would still argue that the blog is still the legitimate place to put your core content and still use these channels that are going to supplement it. YouTube is number one, hands down. Reddit, I think, could still be a house if you want to play there. I really do. But I almost see it as a standalone content play. Because I don't know if you could actually explain to me how you can use Reddit elsewhere as a push marketing tactic. Can you use it for email? Can you use it for social? Can you use it for YouTube? It's all being placed. Yeah. You can't do that.
No.
The blog you can. See, that's the difference. So the push marketing still is in the blog.
I think okay, so I agree. And look, you still need a site as a place to actually transact the business.
Totally agree.
You can't do that on Reddit, right? If you're going to sell a product or you're going to have a questionnaire or something like that, you can't do that on Reddit. So you still need a landing zone for people who are interested. So I'm not suggesting the website goes away. What I'm suggesting is that, okay,
I've got an hour on a blog post or an hour on a Reddit post.
I've got 10 hours this week.
Right.
I've got 10 hours. Now, in the past, let's say I spent 8 of those 10 hours creating content for my blog.
Mm-hmm.
I spent 1 hour creating a video, and I spent 1 hour on Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
My question or my thought or whatever it is now I need to flip that upside down. Maybe I'm spending 4 hours on video, 4 hours on Reddit, and 2 hours on blog content.
Mm-hmm. I almost see Reddit as like email, because you kind of build like a list of people that are aligned with what you're trying to do.
Yep.
Or understand, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to provide information to your email list that's helping them stay engaged and offer value.
Yeah.
Reddit is kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
You go to these certain groups of people and you engage with them in order to, I mean, social's the same way, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
So again, I just don't know if it is. I see the value in it. I think it's a supplemental segment of your marketing strategy. I don't see it as a core channel for distributing elsewhere.
Got it. Yeah, no. The other thing that's nice about having a blog or a website is you own that platform.
Right.
And so, I mean, you could create a bunch of great push content to Reddit and it could go away tomorrow.
And I have to say, your blog content and your Reddit content, based on what we just learned,
mm-hmm.
Reddit could be more valuable from an AI overview standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Reddit could be more valuable from a ChatGPT overview standpoint or citation standpoint. I don't know. And that could continue to evolve, right?
Totally. The biggest thing, the biggest problem right now, the biggest thing I'm having the most problem with right now is the time element.
Yeah. Well,
it's
solopreneur.
No, I know, but it's like, it's getting worse. I'm getting pinched on different sides. So it's really making like, okay, I really only have this amount of time. Before I could kind of, just wing it. But now I'm feeling a squeeze from personal stuff and work stuff that's really limiting that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I look at the very long list, like I did the other night of like everything that I want to do, I need to, this is a no-brainer comment, but it's more true than ever, really only need to be working on things that are really going to move the needle.
Yeah.
It's like there's no...
It's hard to know in this universe right now. That's why everybody is so struggling in figuring out how to pivot.
I know, but the data is showing me at least some direction of like where I need to go, or maybe what I need to stop focusing on. I don't know.
Okay. I understand what you're saying from that data point that you shared with us. However, going to Reddit isn't necessarily going to provide more traffic to your site and
No.
more conversations with value potential customers.
Yeah, and this goes to what's the goal right now? What's the goal right now? Is the goal to drive revenue? Not really. I don't really have anything to drive
That's the
revenue.
question, though. What is the goal?
Or is the goal
Awareness.
brand awareness?
Mhm. And I'm telling you right now, everybody there, brother, should be focusing on brand awareness. Now, if you want another goal of how many transactions or whatever you want to add,
Mhm.
put it in there. But the primary that everybody should be playing right now is awareness.
Sure, right.
That's the core. And it always has been. I mean, that
Mhm.
is literally the metric that every brand should be shooting for all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
But we
Yep.
lose sight of that because that's not going to drive revenue. Awareness doesn't actually drive per metric
Mhm.
revenue, but it is a key leader.
This is a marketer's tale as long as time.
Yep.
Like, and so yeah, so Reddit is more of an awareness building. I think what I'm having a hard time is I'm using the hypothetical 10-hour thing. What percentage of time needs to be spent on that versus, and this is a broader conversation, maybe even a topic for another time, like how
Mhm.
time management of a solopreneur.
Right.
And actually that would be a really good topic because
Oh shit, that would fail.
I stumbled across an article and a template that I downloaded where the guy walks through how to figure out where you should be spending your time. But anyways, yeah, I got 10 hours and I could get lost into Reddit for 10 hours. I could.
Easy.
And
Pick a topic from a small business standpoint, and I could get lost for an hour.
yeah,
or 10 hours.
let me see. Let me see if I can tell this story or not, because I bet I can if it's too early. Yeah, it's too early yet. Okay. I was just gonna say, like, I just posted a video today. I just posted a video today, and my story there was gonna be like, hey, look, I just posted a video and it's already got X number of views. But it's been too early. It literally just published. It auto published at like 4:00 this afternoon. It's too early, but that sounds very vanity metric driven. Like, oh, I posted something, I got more views on it than my blog, right? But at the end of the day, brand is about getting in front of eyeballs. So if I can do a video and have 20 views in the first 4 hours, that's way more than I'm going to get on the blog post, arguably for the next 3 months.
Potentially, yeah.
So it's like, okay, so you want to talk about brand, then you got to focus on brand channels, and that would be Reddit and YouTube and social media in general. And
I'm not really versed in. Say you did post your blog post to Reddit first, just to build up quick view impressions.
yeah,
Could you replicate that on your blog without any issue, or is that duplicate content?
that would be a question I'd ask you.
Yeah, I
You
don't
sound
know.
like someone who know that way better than me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't know. I'd have
I
to
have
ask on that one.
no idea. You know what I would do in that case? I would write, because I'm still a fan of writing my own content. I use AI for good outlining and supplemental stuff. But you know what I'd do? I'd write the post for Reddit and I'd copy and paste it into AI and tell it to rewrite it.
I was just gonna say I would write the blog post. So you
and
have the
then
original content,
sure.
and then write a higher level summary for Reddit and post Reddit first.
There you go.
For more information, go to my blog post.
Yeah, totally. Yep. That would
Let
be.
me know if you want more information. I have other
You
stuff.
could have AI write that summary for you.
Yep. That might be the way to go. I don't know. I'm sure there's people doing it out there that could tell us.
Just one more thing to do.
Yeah, add it to the list, man.
Add it to the list. Everything you're supposed to do after you publish a blog post. And then we had just talked about that Marcus Sheridan bullshit. And now we can do that. Jesus Christ. What the hell?
Hey, you're the one that wanted to talk Reddit, man.
No, I know. And now we talk about it. Now I'm like, oh shit, I should go on Reddit tonight and spend 6 hours on Reddit.
It's a legit platform though, and I mean it's only grown. It's only in its relevance has only grown exponentially over the last few years, just because of how it's partnered with these bigger organizations, and it's incredibly prominent. And people have got to start accounting for it. And I'm speaking to myself because I have not prioritized it, and I literally sent a chat to my boss last week after I saw that link, shared it with her, and said, "We need a strategy." So,
yeah. Well, here's the thing. First of all, there's a subreddit for everything.
mhm.
So there's something out there. If there's not, it's easy to create a subreddit. Anybody can create a subreddit. So that's nice. Two, Reddit's it's always done a good job of like cleaning out old stuff, like old accounts and like bot accounts and stuff. So they keep the platform pretty clean, which is also nice. Can't waste your time with all that. Did I ever tell you I got banned from Reddit for like 6 months?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, knowing what you know about me, that here's what is surprising about that. I actually, for the first time, I actually didn't do anything wrong.
You didn't do anything wrong. Yeah.
No, I don't know. For some reason, my account got flagged for something like a login attempts or something. It got locked, basically.
I remember you telling me that.
I couldn't get in, and I was pissed because I was like,
Going through
I
it.
just lost all my stuff. I couldn't see all of my subreddits. I couldn't see any of the content I created or comments I'd made. I lost all my karma points. I don't know if
I
you know
feel
what the
like there was a time where that was common. Like other people were experiencing that kind of crap.
Yeah,
Is that
and then
true?
all of a sudden, one day I tried logging in and it was fine. It was like,
Interesting.
yeah, it was one of those things where I was like, I was trying every couple of weeks because I was like, I even filled out the form sent to the technical support. Like I didn't do anything wrong. I don't think I violated anything or whatever, and I can't get in, whatever. And I'd reset my password. The password wasn't the issue because I'd reset the password and I'd try to log in. It would say literally like your account's locked, like your account, you violated something. I'm like, I swear to God, I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. So,
So Stanky, what are you going to offer to everybody for your recommendations as a small business owner after rubbing your head and shaking your head and punching yourself a couple of times? What would you recommend to the small business owner on how to leverage Reddit?
easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Okay, number one,
Mhm.
get a profile set up.
Number one, absolutely.
Get your profile set up. Optimize the profile. There's lots of great YouTube videos. You can Google it, whatever. Optimize your profile. Number two, start searching for subreddits that you want to follow on any topic you can imagine. So if you
subreddits are topics, by the way.
Yeah, subreddits are topics. So yeah, whatever your thing is, there's probably a subreddit for it. Just join the subreddit and just start looking at I'm not even suggesting creating content for it at this point. I'm just suggesting create your profile and start seeing what people are talking about. I guarantee it's going to open up things you weren't even thinking about in that niche. Like I said, I literally just started following a new topic a month ago that now I am knee deep in at work, and I'm learning things. I'm new to it, so I'm learning. Everything's new to me around this, so that's great. But it's just like, wow, this is a sea of great information. And again, you can sniff out what's not good and what's good.
Right.
And then maybe also follow some subreddits just around some of your interests, because you get a different perspective. If it's work stuff you're looking for,
yeah,
it's different than maybe a
hobbies.
hobby.
Yeah.
Right. Like I follow I like to play pickleball.
Mm.
So I follow this pickleball subreddit, and there's a million of them out there. There's a million subreddits around that topic. But it's like it's a whole different audience, it's a whole different experience, a whole different vibe. And then the great thing is now I log into my Reddit, I open my Reddit app on my phone, and I go to my main feed, and it's nice because I see all different topics and I scroll, and it's just a good experience. Did you know Reddit didn't have a mobile app for a long time?
I did not know that.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't remember what year it came out, but it was really late to the game. There was a bunch of like third-party Reddit reader apps that you could like that basically had like access to pull Reddit feeds and stuff. But the app is really good. I love it. Yeah, just first of all, just create a profile and start following some subreddits. And then if you want to go even further than that, maybe comment on a couple. If anything, start upvoting content.
So upvoting is what, Bob?
So every post has a post is started by someone in the subreddit. They have a title and then they have body, and sometimes it's a question, sometimes it's just something they're sharing with the community or whatever. You can upvote that. It's a little arrow. It's an up arrow. So it's kind of like a like if you're in Facebook. It's like a like. They also have a down arrow. You can unlike or whatever. But then every comment also has that same upvote.
Yeah.
So sometimes you'll read something and one of the comments really sticks out to you, upvote it. And then they have a whole badge system. So if you get a number of upvotes, you get a badge. They have the whole gamification thing built in, which is cool. That's fine. But more importantly, as your content gets upvoted, you gain karma points. And that's on your profile. And again, it's kind of a gamification thing, but it really shows your contributions to the community. And people look at that. They look at your karma points. And then also that really does help the algorithm, I think, feed you new stuff. If you go to the Explorer part of Reddit, that's, other topics you're not following.
Yep.
It's also, I think, good at that too. But again, it's a community thing, because when you upvote things, other people see that. And so, if I'm following you on Reddit and I'm upvoting a lot of your stuff, you see that.
Right.
It's that community building aspect.
Yep.
So get in there, start upvoting things, like things that you like, things that you're supporting. It's no different than building a community anywhere else. You got to be involved to do it.
Yep.
So, or participate to do it.
I think that's a good wrap, Chief.
Yeah, that was good. I love Reddit. Do you have a Reddit account?
I'm going to upvote that comment.
Okay. I'll take it. Do you have a Reddit account?
I believe I do, but I have not spent any time with it.
Okay.
I do for True Identity, I believe, yeah.
I'll include it in the show notes just in case everybody wants to go check it out. I'll include mine too.
I have to go find it. I don't even know what it is.
Oh, I'll find it. I'm in Reddit a lot. I'll find it. And I'll share mine too if anybody wants to follow. I am certainly not a Reddit super user, but I've been in it for a long time and I love using it. So
go get it, everybody.
It's going to be my new content hub now. So
Reddit's where it's at.
Yeah. All right, cool. Like, comment, subscribe, check out our websites, all of the.
And he means that with the utmost enthusiasm, even though it's not coming across right now.
Because nobody else goes to my website right now, so I don't even know why you want to go there. No, YouTube's where it's at. So YouTube's where it's at. No, for reals though, I'll drop all those links in the comment box.
If you wouldn't mind, please include that LinkedIn post link just so everybody has those metrics that I shared with them earlier, just in case.
Oh yeah, sure. Yep. You that's in the email you sent me, right?
Yep.
Good. Yep. I'll put that in there.
Thank you very much for the time, Bob.
Yeah. No, good times. We'll see you in the next one.
It was great talking to you yet again.
All right.
Peace out, bro.